Good morning to EDN 113, Living and Learning with Technology, Topic 8, Makers Movement. Today we're going to stand still at Topic 8, the Makers Movement. It's a computational thinking and problem-solving approach. This session we'll be focusing on the Makers Movement and Maker Spaces, and we'll be looking at assignment task 2A. So first of all, what is Makers Movement? Makers Movement is connected to Berner's theory of personal constructivism and learning, where a student learns through making connections by actively doing or creating things. It's also aligned with Harrington's 11 elements of authentic learning, as well as meaningful learning that we've been studying throughout this term. The focus is on learning to create and learning new skills during the process of creating. Now, if we stand still a little bit about theory on a Makers Movement and we look at the 8 main ideas of Piper's constructivist learning labs, we see that she provided us with 8 elements or ideas. And the first is learning by doing. We learn better when we are learning. Learning is part of something that we're actually doing, and we're finding, while we're finding it really interesting. We learn best when we are making something or creating something. Technology as a building material. If you use technology to make things, first of all, you make it more interesting, but also you make connections that you wouldn't otherwise have made. Hard fun. We learn best and we work best when we are doing what we're doing. Learning to learn. Many students get the idea that the only way to learn is by being taught. This is what makes them fail in school and in life. Nobody can teach you everything you need to know. You have to take the chance and learn on your own. Taking time. The proper time for the job. Many students at school get used to being told every 5 minutes or every hour, do this and do that, and now do this and the next thing. If somebody isn't telling them what to do, they don't know what to do and they get bored. Life is not like that. To do everything or anything important, you have to learn to manage your own time yourself. This is the hardest lesson for many students to learn. And the biggest of it all is you can't get it right without making mistakes. Or the way Perret says it, you can't get it right without getting it wrong first. So nothing important works the first time. The only way to get it right is to look carefully at what happens when it goes wrong, and then change it to make it a success out of it. The next one, and that we can stand still on, is do unto students what we do unto ourselves. We are learning all the time. We have a lot of experience and other similar projects, but each is different. We do not have a preconceived idea of exactly how this will work out. We enjoy what we are doing, but we expect that it might be hard. Everything difficult we run into is an opportunity to learn. And the last one, knowing that technologies is important, just as reading and writing. We are entering a digital world where knowing about different digital technologies is important. So learning about computers is essentially what our students' futures will be about. But more important is that they knew how to use the applications. Hatch has got 9 principles for the Makers Movement. 1 is to make, 2 is to share, 3 is to give, 4 is to learn, 5 is to tool up, 6 play, 7 participate, 8 support, and 9 is change. What makes a makerspace, or what are makerspaces? It's to have a designed or a designated space for making and that use real-world tools, and the emphasis is process over product. Now, if we look at process over product, we look at learning by doing, learning through failure, and figure it out on our own. And then we look at learn to break it down, break the big ideas down into smaller ideas, understand and make connections, and then find a process and use the information. If you click onto this link, you'll find an example of a makerspace that is popular in WA. Have a look at it, and then think for yourself, why do we embrace makerspaces in schools? We meet expectations of the technology savvy students, and we help them to best use their prior knowledge. We live in an age where we have access to technology all the time, and the makerspaces provide us the opportunity to explore these technology tools for making. We encourage students to create or construct products that relates to their environment. We nurture active learners with a high need to explore and discuss and share ideas. We nurture the sense of achievement, and we develop the 21st century skills. And lastly, we encourage lifelong learning and have a broad impact on the education and society. How to integrate the makers movement in SCASA? There's a few examples that you can do. One is a specific concept, where you use materials to teach a specific concept, such as, for example, gears, friction, or multiplication of fractions. Or you can do curriculum themed. For instance, identify a problem in sub-Saharan Africa and build a machine to solve this problem. Or freestyle, where the materials become part of your toolbox and may be used when you see it. This choice of media or medium requires students to develop technological fluency. So for this weekly assessment activity, I want you to have a look at some of the makers movements that's on the LMS, and I want you to then decide on a tool that you might want to explore. And then, like last week, you'll write up 150 word proposal of how you would like to use this tool that you choose, and how you can integrate it into a subject, any subject, in the curriculum. You have to identify the curriculum elaborations, but it should not be part of the digital technology curriculum. So it could be any of your given fields. It could be HAS, or you can go to PE or health, or you can do something in science, in languages, in maths, and then post your proposal onto the class discussion forum. Assignment 2A, the individual project plan, is due on Monday the 13th of May. And for that, you need to complete your individual project plan, and each student needs to submit their own. You'll find the project plan under assignment 2A. I will upload the video for where I discuss assignment 2, A and B, in detail onto the LMS during the course of this coming week. And that is the end. Thank you.